So 10 years ago, I drew this picture. It's a graphite drawing of Scotney Castle. 10 years later, I've redrawn it again, and this is the result. So let me show you how I got there. So this is where we left off in the last video, part 1. So let's just have a quick recap of what we've done. Incidentally, if you haven't seen part 1, I'll leave a link for that in the description below for you. Okay, so we started off concentrating on the sky, the trees and the castle to bring the drawing to approximately the halfway stage. And we started the line drawing using the grid method and an HB pencil with nice light pressure to keep the pencil lines nice and soft and easy to erase out if we make any mistakes. So once the line drawing was finished, we moved on to the sky. We put that in with some graphite powder and then we made a start on the trees. Again, still using an HB pencil just to get in those basic mid-tones and a basic little bit of texture just to start off. So the trees took probably the longest time to do in this drawing. They're quite involved, quite detailed, and took quite a lot of work to complete them actually. But once the trees were done, it's now time to move on to the building. There's just a little bit of foliage there on the side of the tower and just growing in front of the main building there. And again, there was a lot of time spent texturing the brickwork, getting the tones right, drawing the roof tiles in, but really great fun. So now we've got the drawing to the halfway stage, let's take it from this to this, and I'll show you how I done it. So the first thing I done was go really dark where those dark reflections are. And I used a 4B pencil for this, and working in several layers to vary the tones, and generally keeping the pencil strokes in a horizontal motion to try and pick up a little bit of the texture and the ripples on the water. And although I'm working from a reference photo, which I'm using right at this moment actually as a guide for the reflections, I'm generally looking at what I've actually drawn and trying to mirror that down into the water more than I am using the reference photo. So I'm switching pencil from time to time from a 2H for the lighter areas back over to the 4B for the dark areas. And there's blending and erasing and all sorts going on in between, but I don't actually show that in the video. You're just kind of seeing the pencil strokes here. All the blending and all the other techniques are all in the full length version of this over on my Patreon channel. So at the moment I'm using a wood case pencil now just to do a little bit of burnishing over that area, then jumping back in with the 4B pencil to get those nice dark areas back in there. And I pretty much continued working on the tree reflections in that same way, just swapping between the 4B pencil and the 2H pencil, a little bit of burnishing with an HB pencil, and of course lots of blending and erasing in between. So once the reflections of the trees are all drawn in, it's time to start work on the reflections of the castle. This was relatively easy really because it's just a mirror of what's above it, just keeping everything just a little bit softer, breaking up a few of the edges to suggest a little bit of movement on the surface of the water, keeping the edges nice and soft with a blender, and not trying to pick up too much detail. A few interesting facts about Scotney Castle, actually. It was built in 1378 in the southeast of England, right on the Kent and East Sussex border. And another fun fact for you, during the 1970s and the 1980s, Margaret Thatcher, a former Prime Minister of our country, rented a flat there and she used it as a weekend retreat. And another fun fact that I found out when I was looking into this, apparently when the castle was built back in the day, they didn't have any sort of toilet system or sewage system or anything like that. So apparently the toilets just used to flush straight out into the moat. I know, that's gross, isn't it? I mean, can you imagine doing a midnight raid on the castle and you're swimming across the moat and you get a floater come along and hit you in the face? Oh, I'm sorry. I've really lowered the tone of the video now, haven't I? I knew I shouldn't have mentioned Maggie Thatcher. I actually applied for a job as a stately home tour guide once, you know. I didn't get the job. I don't know why. But anyway, let's get back to the drawing. So one thing I found really interesting about the two drawings that I've just done, the one from 10 years ago and this one now, is a huge difference between them and just how much my drawing style has changed over the years. Even though I've been drawing for for nearly 40 years, to be able to mark a 10-year gap and really see the difference between your work, it's quite interesting actually. I mean, I've got some of my artwork from 40 years ago, and obviously there's no comparison. But just 10 years, there's a huge difference. My pencil marks have got a lot tighter, more detailed, more contrast, a lot more refined. But yet, when I'd done the first drawing of Scotney Castle, I thought it was a masterpiece. I thought it was my best drawing ever. But now when I make the comparison with how I draw now, I don't think that at all. I think it's not a very good drawing. And I much prefer the way I draw now to how I did then. I know a lot of people in the art world, particularly with watercolours, try and encourage you to loosen up and do more loose work. And that's okay. It suits watercolours. But I have heard people that do charcoal drawings, graphite drawings, that kind of thing, try and encourage the same thing, to get looser with your work. It's something I've never wanted to do or had any interest in at all. I've always wanted to have that highly detailed and textured look to my drawings, and graphite is just perfect for that. It's perfect for achieving beautiful textures and really fine details. So that's really probably one of the reasons why I've stuck with graphite drawing as well. But I've certainly got a lot tighter over the years. There's no two ways about it. And you'll have to let me know in the comments, which style do you prefer? Do you prefer the first one, the drawing from 10 years ago, which is a lot looser? Or do you like this kind of style, where everything's a lot tighter, a lot more detailed and textured, a lot more considered in general? It'd be great to hear your thoughts on that. Anyway, the drawing's just about coming to an end now. I'm just finishing off those final grasses there. So if you like this drawing and you'd like to draw along with it, there's 18 separate videos over on my Patreon channel taking you through this drawing from start to finish, step by step. There's a lot to learn in this one actually. We've got sky, trees, buildings, water reflections, grasses, a lot of landscape elements for you to get stuck into. So if you're looking for the full tutorial, all ad-free and all in real time, I'll leave links to Patreon in the end screen cards and the description below. Now I should also quickly mention as well that the dislike button on my YouTube videos is a bit dodgy. You need to actually click it twice for it to register at my end. Okay, it might look like it's gave a dislike when you've clicked it once, but that doesn't register with YouTube. You have to click it twice. Okay, but if you like the video, you know what to do. Okay, so thanks very much for viewing everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.